What are teens today not ready to hear? No, you don't have a mental disorder. And there's a high probability that you're also not suffering from depression. Addiction do irreparable damage, not just at the time but even later on when you stop them. I was addicted to smoking and gambling for years. I quit gambling around the age of 28 and quit smoking at 34, I am 50 now, and the effects on my life even now are worse than they were at the time. My breathing is terrible, and even though I own a house now, it requires a lot of work and I don't have the money to make it right. Stay away from addictions and people who encourage them. It's okay to be offended by something, but know that no one cares about it but you. You see or hear something that offends you? Cool, be offended. But that's the end of it. And you know who cares the least? The person who offended you. They don't care. Just be offended and move on with your life. Writing a 16-page blog about the offense that occurred in your life is just a waste of your time and energy that can be directed to something more constructive, to bettering yourself. Also, nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to get handed to you. You live with your parents or guardian and they take care of everything in your life for you. If they are a half-decent parent, once you are on your own, it's on you to do what you want to do. You want to be a musician? Figure out everything that needs to be done to accomplish that and do it. Don't wait. Oh, I'll get to it later. I have time. Etc. You don't. Life is fleeting, and before you know it, that dream you had is out of reach and you have gone down a new path. That's not necessarily worse, but it isn't the dream you had. Grab life by the gonads and take control of your destiny. Because guess what? No one, like I said, will help you do it without you doing it yourself. Your social media and internet presence are not who you are. Everyone else's social media and internet presence aren't actually who they are. It's easy to post things up to construct an avatar, but that's what it will always remain, just an avatar. At the end of the day, if you're not doing things for yourself IRL, you'll quickly find out how little the content does for you, and in actuality how much it benefits the stakeholders of each platform, and that you've been used and manipulated, after all. Edit, Grandma. You need to start lifting weights and eating well now. It will make things far easier when you're older. From age 24, life will move ahead at warp speed. I'm not exaggerating. Vaping is not cool, and it's not the new smoking either. Smoking also sucks. Edit, weed is cool, but wait until you're 18, some would argue 21 to 25, doing it as a young teen is not a good idea. When you're young, you worry about what everyone thinks of you. When you grow up, you stop caring what people think of you, and when you finally mature, you realize that nobody was thinking about you in the first place. Make wiser decisions when it comes to your life. You don't have as much time as you think you do. Sure, you're 17 today, but you'll blink a few times and before you know it, you're approaching 40. Time flies, so don't waste it. The world has no interest in being changed and will fight you with tooth, nail and thousands of years' experience when attempting to do so. Don't waste your time watching other people have fun doing stuff on TikTok and Instagram. Go do it yourself. Being a virgin and wait till you find the one who deserves your virginity is the best decision you can ever make in your life. You will have to reparent yourself if you have children and a rough childhood. Don't worry, just roll with it. Drugs make you look stupid. Once you are an adult, you don't always get to do everything you want. You do get more freedom, but you have more responsibility. Your parents had more sex than you. Your parents were teenagers too. The world won't care about how you feel. If you aren't productive, you will get left behind. Also, college is a total scam unless you have a real plan going in for a high-paying STEM field or lawyer or such. Most degrees don't matter, and if you get a job somewhere and work hard, some companies will pay for the necessary schooling/training to progress in your field. The world isn't yours. It doesn't revolve around you, and no one cares when you try to be interesting in public by being loud and disrespectful to others to impress your friends. Always push back on those older than you and always listen to those younger than you. You need to hear both, but only what you decide matters. Make that decision. A dial-up tone. That there are consequences for their stupid decisions. Not everything is your parents' fault. In most circumstances. It's all downhill from here, enjoy it while you still can. Not all jobs can be meaningful and fulfilling. That's why they pay you to perform them. You think you are popular now, but wait till after college, especially when you start working in your career field. Your circle of friends will dwindle down to less than a handful right before your eyes. There's nothing you can do, we all start to live separate lives. Embrace those who are there for you now. It gets worse. It gets so much worse. Their future is dire. They didn't create it, but they have to live in it. It gets worse. My mixtape. That life only gets worse from there. You run the very real risk in your life of having to kill someone for food in your lifetime. Being an adult isn't as fun as you think. It only gets harder from here on in, so enjoy it now while you can. It doesn't get better or easier. You can be offended all you want, doesn't mean you are right or that anyone will agree with you. Your parents had sex. Calling things cringe just because it isn't your type of fun is still bullying, even though you are using a popular term for the lols. Life sucks and then you die. Someday you will be old and chudgy. Climate change is going to really suck in the future. The true story of most Disney creations, like Sleeping Beauty or Tangled. It gets worse. It's all a big nothing. Age shaming ain't cool, kid. Think you're gonna be forever 18? TikTok is a waste of time. Your parents have sex. You're going to be poorer than previous generations. You don't need to publicize every moment of your life. Despite how much I wish it could be so, but this world doesn't care if you're gay or not. You're going to face a far more difficult world than your parents have ever faced, because the climate catastrophes are coming and they didn't do nearly enough to avoid the consequences of global pollution. The internet is a good depiction of how real life works. Jobs, responsibilities, etc. Life isn't one big TikTok video. Life ain't a track meet, it's a marathon. If you're not working on or with robots, you'll be competing with them. You're probably not even going to keep in contact with the people that are your friends once you graduate, coming from a teenager. No matter how much you love your job, you will resent it in 10 years. Rent is due on the 1st. English is not a phonetic language. Learn to spell. That's not love, that's infatuation. More so for young adults, 18 to 25. But doing things like OnlyFans and just making videos showing off your body probably isn't the best idea in most cases. Once it's on the internet, it will always be there. Don't rush to grow up. Take your time, appreciate your youth and not having a ton of responsibilities. You have plenty of time to be an adult and then you will want to go back to your younger years. There aren't any shortcuts, and the longer you spend trying to find them, the further behind you fall. It might take you longer for your vision to come true, but with hard work and proper planning it will come true. I'll tell you what I wish I knew back then, and what, even if I was told, I probably wouldn't have understood. I may have understood the logic, but not believed the sentiment behind it intrinsically until I felt it. You need to stop wishing you could grow up faster, and appreciate your youth while you have it. No matter how much you may want to call BS on the whole these are the best years of your life speech, you need to know that you will never get this time back, a time when your only responsibility is to go to school and not pay bills, a time when other people are taking care of you and your needs are met. Yes, I know there are limited freedoms that come with that, but the weight of responsibility as well as the slow decline of your health is the trade-off here, and I promise those will come far sooner than you think. You will have your whole entire life long to be a grown-up, and deal with adult problems. You only have right now, this small window to be young, make it last as long as you can and don't rush adulthood. Become familiar with the signs of heat stroke. We are giving you a rapidly heating planet. That they've probably already peaked and that they'll forever be reminiscing on the glory days of their teen years. Listen to older people that try to give you advice. Let go of the ego it's making your head grow.